What's up, Tootie?
Another day, Thursday. One more day to go to the weekend. Oh, ready. Ready.
Welcome to Toya Talks with Duty podcast. I hope you're ready. I'm ready.
I was born ready, so.
So, y'all, I have something to say as always. I want, I, Duty, do you know what you named this week's podcast? Let's
When to
test him
love
out.
and let go. Or
Oh,
let
okay.
I remember.
Well, let's dive into it then. Let's see. So, what made you come up with this concept of this topic?
Well, the thing that made me come up with it is honestly, and I'm keeping it real, it was from a show last week. I actually had a dude reach out to me, and I mean, I've known this dude for 10 years plus, just a military friend. And he said, man, I never knew you knew about relationships like that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of know a lot. I hate to say it, but I might know a little bit. So me and him started talking, and he was pretty much in that situation. He had been in a long-term relationship, and he was kind of teeter-tottering between if he cared about this girl or if he wanted to let her go. So, just after a conversation with him, it made me realize I guarantee you he's not the only person in the world who's had this thought before, and sometimes it just helps to hear another opinion.
I agree. I agree. So, if our topic is knowing when to love or leave, ooh, we could go into so many different directions with that one, right? So let me
Mhm.
ask you this. I guess we would have to define what are healthy relationships versus toxic relationships to know when you love or leave, right?
True. Very
So
true.
what is your definition of a toxic relationship?
My definition of a toxic relationship would just basically summarize to if we're not benefiting each other, and not in the sense of we're gaining something by being together, but we're not motivating each other, we're not putting each other into a positive outlook. I know in relationship you have bad times and things go wrong, and you're supposed to work through it, but there's a thin line between working on fighting for a good relationship and just depression, man. I've just seen so many people who are afraid to be alone, or you get used to someone, and we've been together for 3 years. We know we're not happy, but we live together, so let's just wing it. Yeah. I just think it's a thin line between people knowing if they're happy or just knowing if they're just living to live.
Okay. I mean, I guess I could understand that. So if that's your definition of a toxic relationship, what do you think is a healthy relationship?
A healthy relationship is goals, everything that we always want to go to. Finding someone who's the yin to your yang. That to me, that's a healthy relationship. Having someone who knows your flaws, and they may go, oh, okay, you don't like this, well, I like this. Oh, okay, well, since you like this and I like that, we put it together, we like everything. It's something that's hard to come by, but I know it's out there because I have seen it with my own two eyes. I know maybe less than a handful of couples who are literally each other's yin to their yang. So I still believe in that perfect thing. It's out there.
Do you think that you've had that before?
Ooh, yes. You know what? I definitely had it before. I'm gonna keep it real. But this was the thing. When I had it, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. Like a lot of people say, I've always people say, oh, everyone has that one person that's out there for them. I think everyone has multiple people out there for them. I think I don't think that there's just that one perfect someone. I think that everybody has at least 4 or 5 people who could be that perfect someone if it's the right time in life. I've definitely dated girls before. When I look back at it, if I would be with them now, we'd be cool. But you called me back when I was 21. I was hot boy. So it wasn't nothing I could do for you, baby. I wasn't trying to get married. It just wasn't. So,
Wait, it's funny that you say that because I swear it seems like we meet the most down people when we are young. And then when we get a little bit older and we're more settled and we're more mature, it's hard as I don't know what to find good, good company.
It's so hard because just at this point and at the age that we're at, it's just not about having fun and being able to go out and do this. It's about that quality time. Like, am I enjoying you during my downtime? And I
Yeah.
never that in my younger years. I really think about that. I'm trying to turn up, but we get older and we grow.
This is true.
But some people get older and they don't grow, and then they still end up in these situations of trying to decide when to love and let go. It's, it's hard for some.
Okay, I'm just gonna be so honest with you. When you first sent that to my phone, I was like, "Ooh, that's gonna force me to dig in my past and talk about some things." Uh,
Mhm.
and of course, my mind always reverts to the negative versus the positive, right? So let me just get this all the way out there. I think I've in my past, it has been so hard for me, or it was so hard for me to effectively or comfortably communicate when it was time for me to exit. So unfortunately, when I did make my exits, I did it like when it was at work.
Well, all right, babe. I'm gonna see you tonight. I can't lie.
I'm laughing, and that's not funny. I don't want to make light of the situation, but at that time, I still don't. I don't like conflict. And so if I felt like it was going to be some type of conflict, or if you wasn't going to let me leave, or you were going to be petty about some stuff, then I mean, you'll find out when you come home and you see everything gone.
What? But see, that also shows the maturity in you because you got to think when you was younger, you probably didn't care about the conflict. I'm leaving, ain't nothing you can do about it. Bye. We get in an argument. That's that. At least now you thinking about your mental health and your well being. I don't want to go through all this, and I don't want to do all the extra. It's already hard enough trying to exit a relationship, but to exit a relationship aggressively makes it even harder. So
Yeah.
it's not wrong at all with doing that. I've done it. I ain't gonna say plenty of times, but I've done it before. I dated a girl, and she thought everything was cool. As soon as she went to work, gone.
You did that too. I thought that was maybe just a girl thing.
And that's the thing. It was the same thing. It wasn't, at the end, I kind of felt bad for doing it, but I know it wasn't from the wrong place in my heart. I was doing it just to avoid that conflict. I felt like once I got out of that space, I could address the situation. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm gone now. So what do you want to know? But
Yeah.
just being there and having to go through all that, it was just something I didn't want to do. So I straight dipped. Made, made breakfast and all that morning.
I am not about to play with you. You
Breakfast, babe. Little do you know, I'm gone at about 10 o'clock.
yeah, give him that farewell kiss and just like
Yep.
you don't even know what's coming, okay?
But
Um
I decided in my mind to leave.
so how do I say this? Have you ever found yourself in a relationship that you just felt like it wasn't serving you right, but you didn't want to leave on bad terms because you saw down the line that y'all would be like really good friends?
Yes, I've definitely seen that before, and that's something that's really hard to deal with is being in a relationship with somebody, actually developing feelings for them, then losing those feelings, but at the same time you still know you guys can have a friendship. Honestly, that's one of the hardest situations I've ever been in because once I tried to end the relationship and just be friends, the girl was basically like, "No, I can't be your friend. If we can't be together, like we can't be friends."
But
And
I
one
think that that comes after. I think that you after a certain amount of time, because if there's feelings still involved in that, then it's hard for you to just say I want to be your friend because I'm still connected to you emotionally. So I think after time, then you could be friendly. Not necessarily like kumbaya, but you know.
get along. But this is the thing, we were friends before we even dated. So I'm like, okay, we was friends before we dated, so this should be cool. No, it wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't what I wanted in a relationship. And once I realized that, I'm like, hey, let's just keep it at a friendship. But some people, can't turn down this dark chocolate, and it's hard. It's hard for them to get.
I am not about to play with you. Listen, they are in the comment section going off. So Toya Anderson sounded a little bitter. I'm just saying, don't shoot the
Sorry.
messenger. She said, "Be, but be friends for what?" Because I think at a certain time you can go back and be friends or be friendly, not necessarily friends, Toya. Maybe just be friendly or be cordial. After a certain time frame, if it was not a bad or a toxic relationship. Now, if it was a toxic relationship, then
Yeah, ain't nothing to be friends about.
yeah,
It-
I don't even.
But just say for instance you were with somebody and y'all just drifted apart. As we get older, days go, we grow, and sometimes people grow in separate directions. I feel like once I realize I've grown in that separate direction, hey, I still think you're a great person, but I just don't see us being together. And when she hit me with that "be friends for what," she was definitely bitter. That was because once she calmed down, we were friends. So I don't know. I'm sorry, Toya. Don't be bitter. Don't be bitter. You ain't.
So you say I don't want to be friends with not one of my exes. I don't have that problem except for one. There is one ex of mine that it was just a really, really bad toxic relationship. And yeah, I don't ever care to revisit a friendship or anything. I wish that person nothing but the best. But
Yep.
other than that, everyone else in my past, if I saw them, we could have an actual conversation. Like I don't have any bad blood with anyone. I really, really don't. But I don't necessarily feel that way. I feel like once, and I don't want to say you've matured, because I don't want to make it seem like the people that don't want to be friends are not mature. I just think it's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and you just don't like the person. That's my thing. Like I feel like I've dated girls to where I could have dated them, but I ain't want to be their friends, and we was cool. I don't want to be a friend. You know, a girl. I don't want to be your friend. And we can still be cool. If I see you, hey, how you doing, love? Besides that, I want to talk to you. I don't.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm cutthroat, cutthroat with it. But I think that's the best way to find that person. That's the best way to figure out if you're in love or if you should let go. It's just to be honest, right off rip. I
Yeah.
always tell people this when I first meet them. I say, hey, just to let you know, you're a complete stranger. You don't know me. I don't know you. Let's be honest with each other. That way we have one or two options. Accept it or don't accept it. Once you start lying to people, then that's when the gray line comes in. You mess with people's feelings. You're doing this, you're doing that. No, I'm gonna keep it with you, 100 with you right off. This me, I really don't change nobody. I hope you can accept that. If you can't accept that, it was great to meet
Think that you should approach it that way. Let me explain to you why I say that. I think that first of all, you shouldn't worry about honesty. You should worry about transparency, because honesty is only if you ask me a question, I'll tell you the truth.
you.
Transparency is for me to tell you up front you don't have any questions. Let me know what's ahead or what I should expect and what I shouldn't expect. And how do you want to maintain a healthy relationship if you're not willing to compromise? This is me, I don't change. You have to be. But I think that you should have clear boundaries on what you compromise on. I don't think you should compromise on everything, but there are some things that I think is worth compromising for the right person.
Most definitely, I definitely agree with you there. But I meant like just like personality wise. I've met people. I see a girl. I think she's beautiful. Talk to her for 5 minutes. We have a great conversation. Then we go out to dinner or something, and then I realize she's serious all the time. You want to sit up like this? Baby, you don't know me. I don't like to do that. Okay. Once I'm off the clock, I like to smile, laugh, have fun, relax. Girl, pass gas. Do something.
Not the fast gas. I
Yeah.
don't. Oh, I think you way ahead of me with that
I,
one. Uh,
I all in. I'm all in.
okay, so like, how? What would you say would lead, like for me, leading up to leaving someone? It would have to, I feel like I would have to feel like I gave it my all. I mean, my all, my all. And then I think it's just time for you to go. And then there's some situations where I don't think you should put any energy into it. If the other person not putting any energy into it. I don't know. I don't believe in just, I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's a sticky situation. But so, what do you do in the event? Say you're with the dude, you realize y'all been dating for a while, then you realize you don't have those feelings for him anymore, but he still has those feelings for you. How do you exit that situation without being the bad guy?
I think initially you're going to be the bad guy because one somebody's going to get hurt, especially if there's love involved on either side, right? You're going to be the bad guy because you know that that person don't want you to leave. But I think I found myself in that situation, and I'm so happy that I found the courage to choose me, because you have to look at it as either you or me. And if that's the case, then I have to go with me, because if not, you're just going to suffer while that person is happy, and then how good of a relationship are you going to have anyway?
Exactly. I think that's a big aspect some people miss about relationships. Like, I know as a man, your goal is to always keep your woman happy. Always keep your woman happy. Always keep your woman happy. But fellas, take it from a real one. Make sure you're happy too. Do not sacrifice your happiness for someone. I've made plenty of sacrifices in life, but that's one thing I won't do. I'm not. I trim my beard. I cut my hair. I'm not sacrificing my happiness. That's why I draw the line at.
Yeah. And I also think you have to come into it happy. You
Yeah.
know, knowing yourself. I think that is so, so important. So often, I think that we see people that are dependent on the other person for their happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so dangerous. You have to show up already happy with you. And that person should just be, an asset to your own happiness.
I think that's a secret only women knew about because I never knew about that. I probably learned that maybe about 3, 4 years ago. I always thought like,
Well,
bro, we
don't
gonna,
be tardy to the party.
yeah, I always thought like, we gonna make each other happy. And I'm like, damn, I'm not happy. But you're 100% right. Once I just thought about my only happiness, and instead of going in trying to make someone happy, I say, hey, let me show you what makes me happy. Let's see if we can enjoy this together. It made things a lot more smooth. A lot,
Yeah.
a lot. But I don't know, man. It's just relationships. Women crazy. I don't care what nobody say. Women are crazy.
Think that we crazy. I just think that we are different, and we can be crazy, but I think y'all crazy too.
See, but that's the thing. A man will be like, I'm crazy. Tell you flat out. A woman will give you the same answer you just did. I mean, I'm different, but yeah, I'm. See my point? Y'all always one step ahead of us. I don't care how smart of a man you are. Fellas, when you do meet your female match, she will be smarter than you. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing. I've realized that. I've met a couple matches before.
Amen.
Nothing you can do about it, fellas. But don't let them hold that against you. Still a man.
Yes, you are, and you're supposed to operate in that realm as well. And so, how do you like to be loved?
Man,
Yeah,
I like to be loved non-aggressively.
explain.
And let me finish. So I've experienced to where some people take the infatuation of meeting someone and just dart with it. I feel like I've been through enough to where when I'm actually searching for a match or a mate, I'm not in a rush. I done been single long enough. I'm not in a rush to be with somebody. I found how to make my happiness. I'm on my own little level and plane. I hate to meet someone and get infatuated with just meeting that new person, and then you just dive in. All right, let's start dating. Let's be in a relationship. Let's fall in love. Let's get married. Let's have a house and kids. Hold on, baby. What's your middle name? What's your middle name? Let's start. Like, so I like to be loved gradually. I'm probably like most men. When I first meet a woman, I'm not just gonna start pouring my feelings out. I'll be honest with you. I'll even be semi-transparent with you. But we're not gonna meet in the first.
Say semi-transparent.
Because sometimes I feel like I talk too much, so I gotta shut up. So you gotta be simple. And then plus I feel like certain things people should bring out of you. I don't mind being transparent
Yeah.
and being with you. I'm an open book if you ask me. But I mean, I don't want to just tell you my whole life story because then you might think, oh, he talks too much. All he does is talk about himself. I'll give you a little, and then I'm gonna hope for you to pull a little bit out of me. That'll let me know if you're my type. Because as a man, 99.9% of men aren't completely emotionally open with women. Just not. Men don't want to do that. When you meet that
Yeah.
one, do it. But you could actually stop yourself from meeting that one by not being like that. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You got to take a chance. You gotta risk that love. I don't want to risk that because I'm emotional and shit, I get heartbroken. So I feel like for me to be loved right, I just gotta meet someone who doesn't make it all about love. I hate to say that. Like I
Okay.
know going into a relationship, it's all about love and having that bond and being together. But I like to build a friendship first.
Yeah,
I
I
like to
think that should be the foundation. And I think that's I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it. I think that so many people nowadays, they are just so eager to be in relationship, and they take out the courting and building the friendship, and that's why I think a lot of relationships fail. And that could be because you don't want anyone else to have him or her, right? But you have to take the time to build that friendship, because I feel like you're going to fall in and out of love throughout a relationship.
exactly.
And so I think it's the friendship that's going to keep you grounded and keep you, together, connected. But that's just my thoughts. What is your love language?
My love language is 100% clear, which is a rarity as a man. I know. Pat myself on the back for that one. But comes to love and actually having feelings and caring about a woman, I am gonna show you better than I can tell you. I'm not a verbal love language person initially. I'll text you every morning, good morning, or I'll call you, whichever one you prefer. I'll send you some flowers. We can go out to eat. We can hang out. We can go do something. I feel like I can show my love better to someone initially versus being able to verbally sit down and be like, "Babe, I love you. This is how you make me feel." I don't know. That shit just always made me feel soft.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what in the world kind of love language that is. Obviously, you don't know the five things of five keys of love language.
That keys to love?
Yeah, they have like words of affirmation, physical touch. Help me out, y'all. Um, oh, gifts, like, people that buy stuff. And then there's two other ones. I don't know. I just know my
House
love
keys, car
language.
keys. That's what the two keys is. House
Huh?
keys. But and see, that's the thing. I've honestly never read any books about love. I've just learned about it, life's experiences. And when we get done, you definitely need to send me those five keys because I could be putting those to use right about now. I definitely.
Yeah. And he was like, I'm like, is it words of affirmation? I was trying to figure out what your love language was, but I did not get it. Look, Chantel said, I think some men make some women crazy. I mean, I think you crazy, you crazy. But I think people can bring out a different level of,
Crazy.
reaction.
That's
But
true. But
I think
that's
we
when.
are all crazy in some way.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially when you get your feelings involved and you start really feeling somebody, that emotions will make you crazy.
Yeah.
It'll that person and it mixed with your feelings and maybe a little bit of Hennessy or Patron. You don't know what happened. You just don't know.
You be outside, girl, I love you.
Come on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call you mama. Mom. Hey, if you had to call her mama to stay, she might be worth it. she
that
might.
that must be it. Um, do you? I think you said last time that we were on that you think men love harder than women.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think our reaction make us look. I would think just based off of our reaction that we would love a little bit harder, because we're the ones that's going crazy behind, y'all, and trying to get y'all to see our, who we are and what we bring to the table. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's what makes it to where it's easier for you guys to express those type of things. Dudes can't do that. If you get it has to take like a breakup argument sometimes for a dude to come out and actually tell you how he feels. I feel like men men don't love as often, but when they love hard because it's just in today's day and age, especially in today's day and age, it's just hard for men to express themselves. Well, at least for the men I know. I know there's some dudes out there who will cry in front of a woman on the first date, but where I was raised, we wasn't doing that. So, better buck up. I ain't know what buck up was, man. They better buck up. Huh? Wipe your nose. Huh? So, just from a childhood to manhood, it's hard to hold it all in. And then once I got older, I just realized I think I love harder. I don't love as often. It's harder for me to fall in love. But once I do fall in love, oh man, I'm all in. I'm all in. You got to here to God to get rid of me.
So you one of those men that like if she comes to you and say, I'm leaving, you like, where we going?
Yeah, 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 yep.
Wait, there was somebody that said his wife said I'm leaving. He was like, I'm leaving me too. Where we going? I was like,
It's
no,
over.
you did not.
It's over. But and I feel like, but if a woman was to kind of, express to me she really wasn't feeling me, I probably wouldn't care. I probably wouldn't. I'd be hurt. I'd be hurt. And honestly, that makes it even harder for some dudes and most dudes to love the next woman. Especially if you was putting your all into a woman. I can say that women can get over that and say, you know what, his loss, I'm moving on to someone else who deserves me. Men, they like, nah, this shit ain't happening with the next one.
Y'all
We
put
go
up this
backwards.
hardcore wall, and that's why it's like I think that's why you guys don't love as often. It's because once you get hurt that one time, oh man, it is so hard to get a man to love again or be open to the process. And that's why I think men are so open to being single longer than women.
I don't know about that, cause I am tired of sleeping alone. Look, fellas, I can't speak for you. I done been a single man. I done lived a single life. It ain't for me. I'm tired of cooking by myself. I'm tired of cleaning by myself. Come on, babe. What you want? Let's look at some matching shirts. We gonna get whatever you want. We can do airbrush shirts.
Not airbrush.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
get an airbrush. Put both Mr. His and hers on the back. Hey, hey.
Wait, I don't know the last time I saw. If I saw you with, if I see you with an airbrush shirt, I'm
I
telling
found the
you.
one. I found the one. If you catch me in a matching airbrush shirt, just mind your business, people. Move. Over there, and we happy.
Wait, you gotta put on a shirt. Duty is taken.
Happy. Happy. And we gonna
Wait.
shift.
Said men love harder. He said it takes a lot for a man to express. So that's why when he does, it's real. I agree.
Most
Man,
definitely.
that is crazy. I just think that I'm trying to ask myself knowing when to love. Like, I find that so hard for me to allow someone to love me and also to love someone else because I find myself trying to fight off those emotions. Like I'm trying to keep myself at a distance. Um, and that's from past trauma or not wanting to move too fast. So it's like if we're going to be discussing knowing when do I allow myself the opportunity to be loved and to love?
Exactly.
That's a hard one.
Because you don't want to be vulnerable. You're a strong, independent woman, and I feel like some women feel like to go from that to being in a relationship, you got to let your guard down. You've got to be vulnerable, but you don't want to do that. You want that love, but at the same time, you don't want that vulnerability. And as a man, I know it scares me. I know it does.
I'm glad you said that because here is the thing that maybe I should have framed that a little bit different. That used to be me. The Talia you see right now, I am okay with vulnerability. Because I told you I took some time when I got out of my last relationship. I took some time for myself. With no distractions. I didn't have anyone in my space that was coming in, bringing outside noise. I got a chance to get clear with who Toya is for herself. And I was going through this wonderful, lonely
Now,
time, but it was so worth it because I feel like it propelled me and it got me in a place to be healthy for my next relationship. And I found, man, God is so good. He will give you all types of jewels and drop little nuggets here and there right when you need it. And so when I was in that season, I was flipping through Netflix, and of course, I'm gonna link this in the bio because this is a whole jewel. I'm telling y'all, thank me later. But there is this lady called Brene Brown, and it's a call to courage, right? And I watched this, and for the first time, y'all, I love all people, but I have to say this. For the first time, I was like, I felt like this white lady was telling me about myself. I mean, in a way that I was like, okay, Brene, like, I was like, okay.
Like
And I
that,
was like, okay, she was, and her points was so on, like on key. So she was saying basically that without vulnerability, you can't love, right? And you can't be loved. And so a lot of people, like myself back in the day, I didn't want to be vulnerable, right? Because it'll protect you, but it'll also shield you from being loved.
right?
Vulnerability is a beautiful thing, and it's necessary in order to be loved or to love. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. But just because you have to be vulnerable, she talks about how you should have clear boundaries on when and where to be vulnerable. And she has this beautiful, beautiful story about us. Our brain is hardwired to make up stories. So, like, say for instance, you and I, you don't call me, and I don't know why. Our brain is wired to make up a story as to why, right?
Women's brain, right? Women's brain.
Your brain too. You gonna okay, maybe not that analogy, some other one, but you're going to wonder, oh, okay, I have a better one. Has
Right.
someone ever been texting you and you saw the three dots, right? And then it just goes away. So your brain ain't made up a whole bunch of scenarios on what those three dots would have been.
Nope, it was nice and simple. She cheating.
And I was about to say keep it a buck, but that's
Yeah. If I see them
and
dots,
so
I see dots and I don't get a message within the next 2 minutes. You cheating.
y'all do not take Duda serious.
Oh,
Nobody
you
is
better get an Android phone
crazy.
around me. Don't get no iPhone. Don't get no iPhone trying to talk to me because I got an iPhone too. I'm gonna see when you're texting.
Oh my God. Turn your reads off, ladies. I'm telling you, he's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
No,
But
but
I think it also comes into play of that person. You gotta want to talk to that person that bad. I've met people before where I wasn't in a rush to get to know them. Like I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to get to know you, but I ain't in a rush. If I text you or you call me and you don't respond for another 2-3 hours, all right, cool. I understand people have lives, but if it's that one you really want, you gonna be sitting there looking for them three dots. Like, ooh, wait till a second. Oh, I didn't get it. That's heartbreaking too. Ooh, that's
yeah.
heartbreaking. Especially if you're in like a good conversation, or if y'all arguing or something, and then she just go blank on you, or if he goes blank on you, I feel like you should be worried. To me, that's a red flag. That's a
Yeah.
red flag.
Another jewel I'm about to drop on y'all. There is this guy. I don't remember Angelo's last name, but I'll find it. But he is he oh my God, when I tell you, dude, if you ever just want some, like, where do you get this stuff from? And I remember one time I asked him, I was like, are you like finding this somewhere and you putting this on your page? He was like, no, this is, if I think about it, I put it on there. But I remember reading something on his page or on the timeline that he had posted, and it was like, train your feelings to be stronger than your emotions. And I was like, oh, that'll work. I was like, that just hit me in my gut because I think that so many men today think that all women are just super emotional. And I think a woman who has come into her full mature level or maturity, whatever you want to call it, I think that she should know when to love someone and when not to, when to, how to place her feelings and her emotions. And everything should not be handled with emotions.
Exactly. Some stuff you got to think about. Some stuff you got to think about with your head instead of your heart. But once you get in that, emotional and you become so vulnerable. Oh, somebody called me. And you become so vulnerable, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice and deal with your emotions. Like I hate to say it, but I've been to them points so where in my mind I was saying, all right, this is the right thing to do. But my heart was like, man, shut up and follow and do what I say. So I mean, it's really hard as a man to do that. There's been plenty of times I'm like, my head said do this, my heart was like, nah, going through the back door. Wait, what? All right.
I'm so happy you said that. Let me ask you this. Ooh, how do I frame this question?
Every time you say that, I get worried.
No, that's only because I want to frame it right. So, if you were dealing with any female, right, would you go with your head or your heart, and why?
Initially, like
Okay,
me,
let's go with that initially.
yeah. If me and this female just met,
No. Scratch that. I'm sorry. If you were dealing with a female and you had to decide on whether to love her or leave her, would you go with your head or your heart?
now I'm gonna answer this from my head. I'm trying to separate my heart right now because my heart's talking, and I'm like, shut up. The correct answer would be to go with your head, but in some situations, it's better to go with your heart. Say I care about this girl, I don't want to be with her, but in my heart, I know she needs me in some way, shape, or form. So my head's saying leave her, but then my heart's like, but if you leave her, she gonna be sad. She gonna be out here. She ain't gonna find another you. Like, how you gonna leave that girl hurt like that? So my heart will make me feel bad for her. And the whole time my head's just like, you stupid, just go. Back yourself. Come on, we out. So if I'm dealing with a girl long term, I'm probably gonna follow my head. I'm probably gonna follow my head because I don't know, man. I know your heart has the best interest, but sometimes just that want to be loved and that want to have that bond with somebody could just lead you in the wrong direction. It
Yeah.
just could. At least your heart, your head, there's no emotions involved. It's just pure logic.
Yeah. I
Pure
think
logic.
that the heart leads you in some messed up places. And I think that once you are in a good place mentally, you should know you should always go with your head. I think that immature person will pick their heart
All
because
day.
the heart will tell you, stay when it's 20,000 red flags and he ain't going nowhere, or like, the situation is bad. Like, no, go with your head, girl. Don't go with your heart because your heart, you're going to be sitting there, you're going to be crying, you're going to be upset. Uh, and said that's a trick question. I don't think it's a trick question.
I agree, said you are right. It's a trick question because you can't answer a woman right. She say A and B, the answer C, said. Both of them. Both of them. But I don't know. It's just one of those situations where I feel like everybody deals with things differently. And as you progress through life, you'll learn what part of your brain actually works best. What part are you a person who thinks better with your heart? Some people actually think better with their heart. Are you a person who thinks better with their brain? That's something you've got to figure out by yourself. And you can't figure that out in a relationship. I feel like you've got to know that going in, how you deal
Okay.
with things emotionally.
So
And
it's
if
situational.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
think
Angie said, gotta go with your head because the heart be in its feelings. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay.
no, I don't. I want to be straight, honest. Let's get to the point. See if this thing gonna work. If it's not, nice to meet you. Keep it moving. You know.
I look, Ariane said you always have a choice. You may not choose it, but you have it. That's what self-development, coping skills, therapy, and accountability partner. I agree. And and a mirror is for. Make a choice. Okay, my sister said the mirror too.
Thing. That's but again, that's easier said than done for somebody who thinks with their heart, because their head could be telling them every single word Yana just said, but their heart like, but you love them, and all that just went out the window. Because
Yeah.
now you're thinking about losing that love. You don't want to lose that love. You don't want to have to start over. You don't want to have to do this. And some people just aren't. It's hard to let go.
But do
In
you
certain
think love is enough to hold on to a
nope,
relationship?
nope, I don't. I honestly and truly don't. If all you can say is I love her, I don't think it's worth it. I don't. If I can't say this is my best friend, this is me right
Yeah.
here. Wherever I go, she go. If I'm not there, I know she could make that decision on my behalf. It ain't worth the fight. It's
Yeah.
just me. It's just not. I was always told, love is hard. You got to fight tooth and nail for it. You got to go through hell and come back out washed in the blood of Jesus, and then know she the real one. I think it's untrue. I think if it's really that person, you now decide on if you're gonna love or leave. If you stuck, in between that at that crossroad, you can sit down with that person and go, man, look, this is what I'm feeling right now. Let me know where you coming from, so we can decide where we're going with this. But yeah, that definitely takes a long time to do. Cause as a man, I wasn't doing that at all. I'm like, it's a wrap. I'm out. Peace.
And that's why you cooking your own meals and you suffering from you suffering for all your transgressions.
Man, for real.
Now
But
it's hard. Now you screaming it's hard out here.
it's hard out here, man. Slim pickings. But it also helped me find myself.
Yes.
I feel like if I wouldn't have done that previously, I wouldn't know now to avoid doing it. I wouldn't know now to, instead of running away from the conflict, maybe just try a different route to approach the conflict. Find a
Yeah.
way to turn the conflict from conflict into a conversation. You know,
Ooh, say that again.
turn conflict to a conversation.
I
You,
like that energy.
you
Boom. Y'all better be liking and sharing this. I'm telling you,
you better.
that was one. That was one for the books. Um, I just oh man. I just think that people view love in a different way now.
Yeah,
I don't
most definitely.
think that love is, I think love for so many people nowadays is so surface.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think now we have to ask that question, how do you love me? What do you love about me? Because if you just say I love you, like, girl, when you come out that shop, okay, that's the only way you love me. That ain't love. To me,
Nope.
that's lust. Or
Yeah,
that's, you just infatuated.
it's just temporary. Because I'm
Yeah.
telling you, after you see her come out that shower after a couple of years, a couple of things gonna start dropping a little lower. And I wonder if you gonna
The
say, girl,
devil is a lie. That's what they make gems for. I don't want to hear that.
exactly. I stay in one, so I'm with you, cuz.
Okay.
I'm, I'm
I
with
wait, let me put this out there. I don't work out, y'all. But I go when I need to. If I feel like, stuff is feeling a little heavier, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna do my thing.
you. Oh, I need
But right now I feel like I'm
all.
all right.
No. And that's another thing. If your body feels good and healthy, mentally you'll feel good and healthy. So if you want a relationship, get in shape. Shit. There's nothing better than your body feeling good and your mind feeling good. There's no better feeling.
Yeah,
There's,
I agree. Let me see. Says sometimes it work and sometimes it don't. Everyone will always say I should have left it when they say that and it don't work. You have to make the best decision you can based on what you have in front of you and don't look back. Whew, that is like that goes back to the believe somebody the first time. I think when I was younger, what my one of my regrets was is that I thought that people would change, or like, thinking that in time he not gonna do it, or he gonna learn from his mistake and it's gonna be better. Instead of I would have saved myself a bunch of heartache and pain if I would have known when to leave.
but again, you didn't know that at the time. You had to experience it. You had to fail at knowing the right answer to now know the right answer. That's
Yeah.
why but don't be afraid to make a mistake, because if you don't make a mistake, you'll never know what the right thing to do is.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember my daughter had her first heartbreak, right? And it broke my heart because when your children hurt, you hurt, right? And so I just wanted to run over his pinky toe. But
Just break the
just
bottom of
run over that pinky toe. But I remember sharing something with her, which was she was like, just questioning a lot about herself. And I was like, I said, listen, if your presence don't get him to change, then your absence never will. So you have to be clear on what are you doing with someone right now. If you losing me, that shouldn't force you to change. You should change while you're with me because you love me.
Yeah, but that change, that's just a hard word for people to deal with. Just change. Well, at
It
least
is.
men. Change? I don't know. I got no change. Just dollars. Most men stuck in their ways, and it's really hard to open up. I honestly just became open to change, to keep it real. But it's made life a lot easier for me. Some people don't accept change. They're just stuck in their ways, and there's just nothing you can do about that.
And I think change is necessary, though, to be honest with you. I think you have to have change in order to have a healthy anything. And I'm not interested in a happy relationship.
Mm.
I'm interested in I'm sorry, a healthy relationship. There's a big difference because I think happiness is so just in the moment. Like,
Yep.
it's a state of being. You're not going to always be happy. But I think that there's a way for you to have a healthy relationship. You can have a healthy everything. You can have healthy disagreements. You can have healthy fights, not
Mhm.
physical, of course. No, but like, fighting in a healthy way. You can have
Yeah.
healthy makeup. Um, you could just you could
I
just
call it
have it.
verbal debate. A good
That,
old verbal.
there you go. That's
Yeah.
right.
You
Uh-huh.
tell me your point. You tell me your point, and then I'm gonna tell you how I'm right. That's the
No, that's not a healthy debate. That's a dictatorship.
yeah. That's my debate. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna take your feelings in, and then I'm gonna tell you the correct answer. Baby. Come on.
Boy, I feel so sorry for the woman that choose you.
Be amazing. She's worse than me. I'm telling you, the woman that chooses me, I'm gonna bow down to her. I'm gonna bow down. I feel like men shouldn't be afraid of that. I thought you can still be the man of the house and bow down to your woman.
Yeah, for sure.
You definitely can.
For sure, for sure. This
Definitely.
was this was this was great. This was different. I have to say this. I know I said the way that I left. I keep laughing on this, and that's not funny, y'all. I'm trying to have a serious moment.
No.
I'm trying to have a serious moment about the fact that I left when they went to work. But listen, I messed with some crazy people. So, but in all seriousness, to all of my exes, because there was a couple that I left like that. More than a couple, because a couple is two. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We don't have to get into a specific number.
I'm
But
at,
to the ones that I did, I wasn't in a mature state. I hadn't come full circle to knowing how to effectively communicate. And if any of my exes are watching this that I left like that, I truly, sincerely apologize. That is not the woman I am today. Um, I like to believe that now I would have the wherewithal to sit down and have a healthy conversation and let you know that this is just not working for me. And I also think that the laws make it a little bit better. Because, see, back in the day, you didn't have to, somebody didn't have to stay with you 30 days before you could put them out. I was probably, worried that if I tell him, he might put my stuff on the curb. Oh, no, D.
that's true.
So,
I'd rather leave on my own than somebody put me out.
now look, Chantel would come on the comment section talk about lies. Tootie, this is not this is not the time. Just
No,
leave it alone.
no. Here she go being aggressive again. Here goes Chantel being aggressive.
Yeah, you know it. Oh
But
man. This
I love it.
conversation was so, 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 so good. So, Duty, I hope you're ready. Next week, I'm picking a topic. I'm
Okay.
picking a topic, and I think we're gonna reverse these roles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share with you the topic. You
And
gotta build some questions, and you gotta
I got.
question me.
I've been waiting.
I'm scared.
Fellas, tune in next week because payback is coming.
Oh,
Explain it all to us. So if you want to know about it, fellas, tune in. Ladies, tune in too, because it's a learning experience for all of us. Tune in. Make sure you like. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe, and I guarantee you it'll be worth it.
yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining us on Toya Talks with Duty Podcast. If you're watching this on Facebook, like and share, y'all. Just like Duty said, like and share. I know that now we are going to be posting on YouTube as well. And just make sure if you're watching it on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and
Man,
like it.
yeah.
You can share that too. And we I'm thinking, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I know I did tell you that we would be going live on the podcast on like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that. But I don't know if we're gonna do that right this second, but eventually we will get there. But again, anyways, thank y'all so much for tuning into tonight's podcast. Until next Thursday, y'all keep it locked and get your life. Tell them good night, cousin.
Have a good weekend.